Welcome to all of you on the channel Maths with Munir. I hope that you all are doing great and watching my videos. So today we are going to start a new topic which is about mensuration, and if you are appearing for your GCSE or IGCSE exam, then you must know that we have two types of mensuration that we need to look upon before appearing for our maths exams. 2D mensuration and 3D mensuration. In 2D mensuration, we often talk and discuss about square, triangle, parallelogram and rectangle, and in 3D mensuration, we discuss about cone, sphere, hemisphere and cylinder, etc. So today we are going to talk and discuss about each and everything that you must know about the 3D mensuration, which is cone. So keep watching this video till the end, because I am going to promote some educational channel like I said in one of my community posts. So I will be telling you some more good channel about maths from where you can learn about things. So we are going to start our topic mensuration, which is cone. So first of all, we all know that cone is always of this type, and it's a 3D shape, like I said in the introduction of this lecture. And there are two things that basically define about cone. The one thing is about its radius, and the other thing its height. So these are the two things, height and radius, that basically define the cone. So if we are having the different radius and if we are having the different height, that are going to be defined about the cone. So we can also say that there are two parameters on which basically cone depends upon, R and H. So how do we know that basically on which parameter a geometrical shape actually depends upon? So let's talk about the time period of a simple pendulum. We know that the time period of a simple pendulum is t is equals to 2 pi, t is equals to 2 pi square root L over G. So if you look at this formula carefully, you will be realizing that 2 is constant, pi is also constant, we know that its value is fixed, and this G is also constant, its value is fixed. The only thing that is going to be changed, it's actually length. So the time period of a simple pendulum is basically depend upon its length. So similarly, the cone is basically depend upon the radius and height of the radius and height. So if we don't need to take a much complex example, we can take a simple example. That let's talk about the circumference of a circle. Circumference of a circle, we know that its formula C is equals to 2 pi r. 2 is constant, pi is constant. The only thing that is going to be changed, it's basically r. Sometime you might be taking r as 5 centimeter. In many questions it might be 2, 3, 5. It depends upon the situation, or it depends upon the terminologies that you are using or the values that you are using and what you are getting about r. So the r could be different on which the circumference of a circle actually depends upon. So the cone basically depends upon two parameter, radius and height. So first of all, we will learn about how to find the volume of a cone and how to find the surface area of a cone. So volume of a cone is basically, formula for that, V is equals to 1 over 3 multiplied by base area. B dot A means that base area multiplied by height. 1 over 3 is constant, okay. H is that is going to be changed, like I said earlier. Base area, we know that the base of this cone is basically a circle, okay. I try my best to make a complete circle, so if somewhere it's not looking, so do not mind that, but still it's a circle. So the cone has the base as a circle, and we all know that the base area of a circle is basically pi r square. So we can write the formula for base area is pi r square, and that is your H. So that is basically your volume for cone, 1 over 3 pi r square times H. So if I am making the base over here, if I am making the base over here and like this, that is going to become like your party hat, and that is also in the shape of a cone. And not to be neglected, this is called your vertex. This is called your vertex. Vertex is basically when two lines meet together at one point, they form an angle. Definitely the point there they met, this is called your vertex. And how about these length? These V types length, what do we call them? These are called slant height of a cone. These are called slant height of a cone, and we represent them with L. So these are the basic notation in order to understand about each and everything of cone, and we are going to use them one by one, and we will derive and we will learn about different things. Okay, so let's talk about surface area. Okay, before, in order to move further for surface area, one thing you need to keep on looking over here, that if you have been given, so in this volume we have V, R, H. So this equation involves basically the three variables V, R and H. So whenever you have radius and H, you can find out volume. So if you are having volume and radius, you can find out H, and if you have volume and if you have the height of the cone, then you can always find the radius. So that is the one thing that you always need to look upon, that what are the two variables. Before solving your question, you have to think carefully what are the two variables that are being given to you, and with their combination what actually the formula. So if the radius and the volume have been given to you, so with their combination we can use the formula for volume of a cone, and we can find out height if that is actually required. So what is surface area? I am not going to solve questions, basically it's a very simple thing and you can always do that. So now let's begin with the topic surface area. So now what is the surface area of a cone? So if you look at this cone carefully, you will be realizing that this cone is consist of two surfaces. We have two faces, one is basically your circle and the other is basically the curved shape. So we will be say that surface area of a cone is basically the circular base plus area of curved surface. C dot S means that area of curved surface. So how do we define basically volume and how do we define basically the curved surface? Let's suppose that if I am having a cylinder and I am trying to paint that cylinder with any color. So what or how much amount of paint actually required in order to paint the whole cylinder, that actually defines your surface area. All right, so if I am keeping or if I am putting that cylinder under a water tap, then I am realizing that how much amount of water I can put in that cylinder, that is going to define your volume. So these are the two comparison between the surface area and the volume of a cylinder, and that's what actually the volume and surface area in general as well. So circular base is pi r square, we know that. How about area of a curved surface? Area of this curved surface is defined as pi RL. Now it's a very long debate and it's a complete derivation. How do we get the surface area? This you should define it as total surface area. That is going to be a very sorry, I neglected that T earlier, but that actually defines total surface area. Once we are talking about total surface area, then it means that we are talking about this circular base and we are also talking about this curved surface as well. So you will be writing circular base, which is pi r square, plus area of a curved surface, which is pi r L. So if you are having the radius and if you have been given the slant height, then definitely you can find the total surface area of a cone very easily. Now that is not the only case. When you have been given the radius and the slant height of a cone, and you can get the total surface area very easily. I mean, that's not what math is about, you know. The examiner can always play trick with you. Sometime you might be having, okay, we can have a question like that. Sometime you might be having only curved surface area have been given to you, okay, only curved surface area, which is pi L, that have been given to you, and then you need to find out the volume, okay, then you need to find out the volume. Then how we can do that? So let's suppose that the curved surface area that you are having, let's say it's 16 centimeter. 16 centimeter square is the curved surface area that we are having. So we know that in order to find the volume of a cone, we should know R and we should know H. That is where we can find out the volume of a cone. And also the slant height L is also given to you. Let's say it's 5 centimeter. Keep in mind that I am taking some random numbers. Keep in mind that I am trying to make you understand about the complexity that we can have in this topic, which is 3D mensuration cone. So I am taking some random numbers. So let's see what we are going to have at the end. So keep watching this video till the end, and you should be making notes for every single thing that I'm trying to explain. So curved surface area is 16 centimeter square and the length is 5 centimeter. Remember, we want to find out the volume of a cone. Okay, volume of a cone does not depend upon the L, and volume of a cone does not depend upon the curved surface area. So how we can find out the volume from this case? All right, let's go gradually. Curved surface area of a cone, we know that it is basically your pi r L. Okay, plug in the value 16. Pi you can use as 3.142, multiply by r, we don't know, multiply by L, which is 5 centimeter. So you see, by using the formula for curved surface area, we have got one thing that we were looking for, which is basically your radius. So once you solve this mathematical expression, you are going to get the radius, which is something centimeter. I am not using calculator, and neither I have it, and I don't want to give you these I don't want to solve this little multiplication, because I know that you all can do it. Okay, so we got radius, but still we have a problem. Why? Because we do not have h, and the question doesn't say what actually your h is. But if we look at the figure of this cone carefully, we will be realizing that r, okay, that's what r is, L, that's what our L is, and the height, this is the height of the cone, and that's what we can find it out by using the Pythagoras formula. Okay, so what actually the Pythagoras formula says, that the Pythagoras formula says that the hypotenuse square, where we are having L, hypotenuse square is equals to base square plus perpendicular square. So you have L, which is 5 centimeter square, is going to be 25, and r how much, we don't know. Obviously you have to solve this, and then you will be getting some values of r, and h square. Solve this for h square and then at the end you have to take square root, and then you will be getting the value of h. Obviously you will be getting the value of h in plus and minus, and we know that we always ignore the negative value, especially when we talk about the radius and we talk about the length. So length of the cone can never be negative, or height of the cone can never be negative. So that's what way we are taking only the positive value. So you see, we have got the radius and we have got the height of a cone. Now we can find out the volume of a cone very easily. So this is how you can have different situation where you need to be careful about what to use and what you are going to get. So if you are so aware of the formula for the volume of a cone and surface area of a cone in total surface area of a cone, and you do know that the total surface area of a cone is basically consist upon circular base plus area of a curved surface, where circular base is pi r square and area of a curved surface is pi r L. So according to the need of the question, or according to the situation what's been actually given and what you need to find it out, you can find, or you can get what actually required, and then you can plug in and you are going to get the desired result. So not to be neglected, this is the thing that can make student most of the time confused. They often neglect Pythagoras formula is a very fundamental and basic formula that we often teach to the student. But once they are coming to the situation like mensuration or the topic like mensuration, they often forget that sometime we can have the situation where we need to apply the Pythagoras formula as well. So the more you do practice, the more you are going to learn about the different scenario where you can plug in the different thing that you have learned earlier. So if you have R and if you have L, then you can obviously find out H. If you have any of these two, then you can find out the third value very easily. So I hope that this video was very helpful for you in order to understand your basic concept. I might have I could have taken some questions, I could have taken different questions and often I could have taken some different questions and could solve them for more better understanding. But how many questions will I take? 10, 20, 30? The more question I will take, that there would not be enough. So please make sure that if you are solving 100 questions without concept, that are not going to lead you towards your success. But if you are solving only 10 questions with full concept, then I can assure you and I can guarantee you that those 10 questions are much better than by solving 100 questions. So that's the each and everything that you need to know about a cone, and not to be neglected. I said earlier, in order to find the total surface area of a cone, pi r square plus pi r, that's a whole derivation which I am not doing it in this lecture. I might be doing it in the coming lectures when I will be covering, and I will see if somewhere I can do the derivation of hemisphere and sphere and the cylinder and all of those things. So I hope that this video was very helpful for you. So please, if you are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and share this video as much as you can. Yeah, one thing I was about to forget. Yeah, so maths with Shahid Saleem is one of the math teacher who is trying to help student as much as he can. Lots of you were asking me to make my lecture in Urdu, which is definitely the thing that I cannot do at the moment. But he's the guy, or he's the teacher who is trying to build some resources for 8th, 9th and 10th class, and he have couple of lecture related to the first year and second year classes as well. So I'm going to mention his channel link in my description for all of you. So if you are interested in watching his videos, then definitely you should subscribe his YouTube channel and try to give him some positive feedback so that he could continue, or he could keep on this positive work for you.